Go down, Moses, way down in Egypt land. Tell Pharaoh, let my people go. Go down, Moses, way down in Egypt land. Tell Pharaoh, let my people go.
Shalom, shalom, Israel. This is Zibiah coming with a very short message, but a very important one. A message that can save your whole life if you take heed. I'm coming to re-prescribe, right? When I say re-prescribe, to go over again the 400-year prophecy that's been greatly misunderstood, translated, and used and abused to divert people from the whole message and the plan of our returning God. For the past 40 years that I've known, one of the biggest issues with people that understood we were supposed to come out of Babylon, America, right, was when. What's the sign and when, right? And so now that we're going through troublous times, and Yah has sent his very few messengers to give you the message of come out of her, my people. Blessed is the man that escapeth before the wrath. But yet there is a judgment coming on. There is a wrath that's coming on the land in the kingdom of Babylon. We have false prophets, we have Rumpelstiltskins, preachers for money, swindlers, shysters, and babies, breast suckers in the word that still are going to hang on their lack of understanding, right, to divert you from understanding what Yah says to do, because you're their bank account. And by the time you leave, they would have cashed out on their straw trying to change it into gold. Right? So we got short men that keep coming up short with the word of Yah, but they speak many words. And they'll sit up there and be like, lie upon lie, drunk fool, this high all the time. Precept upon precept. Here left, there left. Right? So we're going to do the whole word. Little short finger. We're going to do the whole word of Yah, y'all. And they speak for an hour and a half and they still stuck on one scripture. 3 lessons in a row, still stuck on the same scripture, and going just presume the story tell you it away and give their own interpretations and didn't do what Yah even said to do. Y'all can't see this? So I know there's people that bank on the fact that those of you that don't have the patience to sit and listen to 20, 10, 50 hours of me break down the prophetical vision by all the prophets is going to presume to stick on. They're going to either stick on Revelation or go to Revelation, come out of her, her plays and her sins, right? And then they're going to go to the very first one. They're going to go to the last one and the very first one and give you a misunderstanding and not go to all the other prophets that lent to understanding what those prophecies meant. And so I've already done that. We're not going to go through it all. I'm going to keep this short. I know I'm long with it, Israel, but I'm trying to keep it short for some of y'all to just open your eyes and go, ding, ding, somebody's lying. And I'm going to show you how not knowing your word, you not being sent of Yah, not being studied in Yah's word, not understanding his word, right? And just being a lying seer because you want to cash out on straw, right? And turn it into gold for you. Y'all going to keep one dot, one misunderstanding in Yah's word can change y'all's whole prophetical understanding. And so I'm going to go over this 400-year prophecy that's being misquoted, greatly misunderstood, and has caused our people not to move. And it's going to be the very issue that caused a lot of us to get trapped in this last day. When you got your false prophets continuing to tell you, you're going to be all right. Ain't nothing going to touch you. As we see that there's a judgment, there's plagues going forth on the nations, and particularly Babylon, right? That they're going to continue to presume to tell you ain't nothing going to happen to you, right? And that the judgment of Babylon, America must come first. And then Israel exits. Well, we're going to go over this because we got a problem when you got one quote in English, right? Even if you think you understand the Hebrew, one quote that is contradicting with all the other prophets said about your escape, about your exit out of Babylon, or exit out of that nation, that going nation that you will serve. So we're going to go through this because I got people that, want to jump on top of my word, right? And bank and that you're not going to listen to nothing else but what comes out of their mouth, and they're not going to even explain these things to you. And they're going to presume to tell you, I'm not going to do the Hebrew all day, but we're going to read it just like it is in King James right here, right? Let's go into that, right? Please get this piece here. If you can't hear nothing else, hear this, Israel, because this is one of those doctrines that is serious if you misunderstand. One word out of context can change your whole philosophy on your redemption plan and on your exodus. So we're going to go over this. Let's read this in the English, and I'm going to read it in the Hebrew. And I know you don't know the Hebrew, but we're going to take you through it. All of y'all that think y'all know Hebrew, read Hebrew, follow along with me and see if I'm not speaking the word of Yah, right? If I'm not correct. Now, mind you, I live in Israel. I have lived in this country off and on for the last 20-something years of my life, right? I am not like a prolific speaker, but I use the language every day, right? And in the language, we don't use mikvah here. Those are training wheels. But one mikvah, one nikud out of context can change the word and how you read it in Hebrew, right? And so these people that have translated the book have also mistranslated the word, right? So we're going to go into this and understand how one dot changed can change your whole understanding and your whole interpretation and translation of something you are banking your salvation on. And so those of you that are banking your salvation on ignoroses, short men coming up short in the word of Yah, they ain't got the time to go into the Hebrew type stuff. Y'all know I can do it all day, but I'm just going to speak on it. Trust me, right? Can get you trapped and slaughtered, and y'all want to bank on that. So we're going to go through this. One of the greatest misunderstood prophecies. And I've gone through it, y'all. I've gone through it. In my first lecture, Come Out of My People, the first hour and a half, the first 2 hours, please watch it. I'll break it down. But now I realize, right, that the witnesses to explain these things by the Spirit is not enough. We got these slick preachers and pastors and seers that going to go in and reinstitute their understanding on one scripture to divert you from what all the prophets have said. So I'm going to show the liars. And please pass this word on. I'm going to keep it short, y'all. I'm going to keep it short. I know I'm long with it. I speak like the voice of a woman. You don't want to hear it. Hear this out. Hear this out, y'all. I declare right now that I'm speaking by the Spirit of Yah of truth as a prophet. Hear it out. So we're in Genesis 15, 13 to 15. 13, and said to Abraham, know for certain that your descendants will be strangers in a land that is not theirs, where they will be enslaved and oppressed for 400 years. Many of us have come to the conclusion that last slavery is the slavery before our redemption. That is us in Babylon. Yes, we know that we're scattered to the four corners of the earth, but the majority of us, he's talking about a particular nation, and the nation that ruled the slave trade is Babylon, America. Those of you that got that understanding, that is this slavery today. And also this nation, a nation that they will serve, I judge. And after like so, they will come out with many possessions. This is where the false prophets, the short men that are short in the word of Yah, hang your whole doctrine of your Exodus on, where they're going to presume to tell you 1,000 foreshadows of what you should and should not be doing based upon this. We're going to get to it. And you will come to your fathers in peace, and you will be buried at a good old age. In the fourth generation, they will return here, right? Because the iniquity of the Amorite is not yet complete or recompense until I go into explaining, breaking down this whole prophecy. But yet, please forgive me, Father, for my lack of not going into this in detail, even though I proved what it means by all the other prophets. Please excuse me. So we're going to go through this again, because when the devil is slick, right? So 14 is our issue. Here is what it prescribed in English translation. And also this, the nation that they will serve, I judge. And after like so, they will come out with many possessions. So this is how it reads in the Hebrew. Wegam et hagoy asher ya'abdu dan anchi. Right? Now, it reads as it reads in the English. Wagam. And also, et, when it puts et, it's making it very specific to this nation, Hagoy, Hagoy, this nation, Asher, that, Ya'abdu, you, they will serve. Dan, right, that means judgment, Anki, I judge. Ve'achrei ken yetsu berikush gadol. Right? So here is the line that's being interpreted as, and after like so, they will come out with many possessions. So the word here is we'acharei, right? We'acharei does exactly mean as it's translated. And after. Acharei means after. The word here, ken, is the issue. And the word here, yetsu, berikush gadol. This is where the misunderstanding. One mikvah can change how this whole thing reads. So we're going to go through it, and I'm going to show you how the Septuagint reads it, and that it understood. Those that have the Septuagint and know Hebrew and know this word has shown the difference in the translation and how it can change your whole understanding. So we got people that's telling you, don't worry, Israel. Nothing is going to happen to you. This was happening into the world, the judgment of Babylon and the nations, but it won't touch you, oh righteous Israel that keep the commandments and the testimony of Yahushua. That's all you got to do. You don't have to do nothing. Wait on Yah, right? Because Yah is going to judge that nation, and then after he judges the nation, then you shall come out with great possessions. The greatest misunderstood portion of this prophecy that has gone out for the last 50 years to cause our people not to move. And it's still causing our people not to move. When all the prophet says, get out, depart. Blessed is the man that escapeth before the wrath, right? And you got all the prophets telling you that I'm asking you to depart, go out, exit from Babylon, get out of her. Why? And then it tells you why right after that. It says sins and plagues. Well, what are the plagues? The judgments that are coming, right? So you got the prophets telling you to leave first because judgments are coming and I'm going to destroy her with wrath. But then you got this one that's saying, no, I'm going to destroy her first and then you're going to leave. We got a problem here, Israel. So either someone has mistranslated the word, or the word is something is wrong when one scripture is going against all the rest. So let's get some understanding. This word we'acharei means exactly what it means, and after, right? So we're talking about I judge and after, right? So let's get some understanding. This word ken, yitsu, is where the biggest misinterpretation. So it's saying, and after like so, right? Like so is the word this word ken is with a yod, but it's another mikudot here that's telling you how to sing it, right? The word ken can mean kan or ken like and thus, right? But is it ken or is it kan? The word kan, it doesn't mean yes. All y'all is messing with the Hebrew language. The word yes in Hebrew, yes, is ken. Ken. It's not kan, right? But the word kan in Hebrew means here. Kan. Here. Right? So we use this in Hebrew today. Sham vekan. There or here. Sham vekan. Sham vekan. Right? Here. So this is Abraham talking within the nation and within the land that Yah said, and after here, they will exit with many or great possessions. So after like so is a wrong interpretation of the word. It's not after like so. So it's not implying that you exit out of the nation after the judgment. It's implying that after the judgment is when you will enter here. There's a difference. I've already showed you that your exodus is not the gathering. That once Israel exits Babylon, we are still in a scattered state. And then there is the gathering to one place. There's the great town meeting in the promised land. And so that's what it's talking about. How, and that word yetsu does not just mean exit, right? I'm going to show you how it's being translated when you put it, when it says kan yetsu, right? Kan yetsu. How is, and here they will exit with great possessions. Does that make sense in English? No, it doesn't. It doesn't make sense in English, right? And after here, they will exit with great possessions. So I'm going to give you some understanding on how Hebrew works, and this yetsu, as is put in this kind of context, what it means. It's telling you what the yetsu means, right? It's not talking about your exodus out of that nation. The word yetsu can take on let's go through it, right? Let's go. Okay, so here is how it's being translated. And also this nation that they will serve, I judge. And after like so, they will come out with many possessions. Even in the English, if you really think about what you're reading, but I know a lot about people who are smooth speakers are ignorant in the English language. Even in the English language, it's not implying, even in the mistransliteration, it's not implying that we're coming out of that nation after the judgment. It's speaking about the outcome after the judgment. So the outcome is what? This is how the verse reads. And I'm going to show you in a Septuagint that it reads the same way. And also, this nation that they will serve, I judge. Right? He didn't say I will judge, I judge. It's no tense. I'm making judgment. He says, and after here, they will come out with many possessions. That's what it reads. It's not about when you are coming out of Babylon. It's when you are coming out or going. It actually, the word as it can be come out, it means you're coming to, right? Or your end result. You will end up it in, right? So let's go through this. Once again, it's using ken, right? Ken. But the word is not ken, it's kan, right? And that changes. And so it doesn't make sense, right? Akare, here, after, here they will exit with great possessions. So we're going to get into this possessions as well, because it's also showing you it's after so. When you realize what these possessions are, because the prophets have told you what these possessions are, you're going to realize that it can't be possessions that you're taking after you come out of Babylon, right? Mm-hmm. So we're going to get into this. Let's go. So like I said, this is the proper interpretation of it in the Hebrew. And also that nation that they will serve, I judge. Mm-hmm. Meaning whatever is happening to them, I'm the one doing it. That's what he's saying. And after, they will come out with many possessions. All right. This is the Septuagint. It's Sir Lancelot C.L. Brinton, originally published by Samuel Baxter and Son Limited, London, 1851. The English Septuagint is made available. Here is the website. You can find it. This is how it reads in the Septuagint. And on this note, I'm going to agree with the Septuagint because I can read Hebrew. Even though I know the Septuagint is written in Greek, I read Hebrew. And I read all the prophets to know that that could not be what it says. And when you read the Hebrew, that's not proper Hebrew. If Yah was going to say And after the judgment, they will come out. If he was implying that they were coming out of that land after the judgment, it wouldn't read that way, right? It wouldn't read that way. So here it is. It was said to Abraham, thou shalt surely know that thy seed shall be a sojourner in the land, not their own, and they shall enslave them and afflict them and humble them 400 years. Y'all being humbled. And the nation whosoever they shall serve, I will judge. And after this, they shall come forth hither with much property. That's how the Septuagint reads. It's not talking about your exodus out of Babylon. And after this, they shall come forth hither with much property. Where hither? Where are we supposed to gather? I already said, and I showed you that all of us, your exodus is not your gathering. There is another scattering of Israel. And that scattering is taking you through the fire, through the sword, through persecution another time after you exit out. That 1/3 that's going to get out is going to be in a scattered state again. And I show you the prophecy that says some of y'all going to run through Africa, right? Some of y'all going to be in Jordan. Some of y'all going to be in Israel. Some of y'all going to be in the Middle East. Some of y'all going to be in Europe, right? But those of you that exited out of Babylon, we're not in a gathered state. How do I know? Because a lot of us have exited. Hundreds and thousands of us have exited. We're not gathered in the land, in the great town meeting in the promised land, right? So we're still in a scattered state. Your exodus is not your gathering. Yah is still dividing the chaff from the wheat and the tare from the wheat in this scenario. But thou shalt depart to thy fathers in peace, nourished in the good old age. All right. So this word rekush, it tells you in the Bible what the rekush is, right? You can't just come up with your own interpretation. We taking the gold from Babylon and the cars and the gold chains, no, we're not coming out with the rekush of the nations. How do we know this? Because Yah says when the kingdom is established, right? When do we get the wealth of the nations? I want y'all to answer that according to all the prophecies that you know. When do the wealth of the nations come to Israel? All right. So this word rekush means substance, property, goods, plunder, possessions, herds, wealth, or capital. Okay. So it could mean all of those things. Which one? Which one? He says, and after that, we shall come out with great substance, great property, great goods, great plunder, great possessions, great herds, great wealth, great capital. Let me tell you why it couldn't be capital. Because y'all about to go underneath a one-word order that you cannot buy or sell without capital. It's not capital, y'all. Y'all not coming out with great money. You're not coming out with great wealth as far as capital or the substance or possession of the nations you're in, because Yah is already determined by his scriptures when we're going to get the wealth of the nations and the kings of the earth. And that's after he establishes the kingdom. Then they come to us and they're going to bring their wealth to us. So once again, if you want to interpret that as wealth, then he's determined when that is going to happen. And it's not at the destruction of Babylon. It's at the inception of the kingdom, when they come to us and bring their wealth to us. Right? Now, herds. The prophecy tells us where we're going for the 3.5 years in the wilderness. The prophecy tells us to look to the old past of our forefathers. Our forefathers, when you see the word our fathers or forefathers, it's not talking about your great-grandfather. It's not talking about baby boo-boo Joe or anything like that. It's talking about Abraham and Isaac and Jacob. Nobody else. And so when you go back and look at our forefathers and you look at all the prophecy, what did Yah say? How did they live? I'm going to let you answer that. Because he said, go back to the old path. That was the old, we got in trouble when we went into the city and tried to do city life, right? We were herdsmen that lived in tents and in the wilderness as travelers. And he said, I'm going to return you to that. And that's the prophecy of when we flee. Obviously, if Israel is fleeing into the wilderness, we're in a scattered state, y'all. So here's the prophecy, Zechariah 2, that tells you what the rekush is that we're going to end up with after the judgment. And now when you see this, there's no way that you can believe that he's telling you that's when you're going to exit. because you're not exited out with this. So how are you going to get this? I explained this by his word. Where are you going to get that from? Then I lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, there was a man with a measuring line in his hand. We know what that measuring line is. It's called measure the temple. It's the judgment for Israel. Then I said, where are you going? And he said to me, to measure Jerusalem, to see what is the width and what is the length. We know that is the measurement of the 144, according to Revelations 20, of the living, not the dead, of the living, right? And behold, the angel who was speaking with me was going out, and another angel was coming out to meet him, and said unto him, run, speak to this young man, saying, Yahushalayim shall be inhabited as town without walls, for the multitude of men and cattle therein. That is the prophecy. Right before the last war of the nations, Gog and Magog coming up against us in the wilderness. When we are you come up to the people that have exited out of the nations, who is always plundered. Now they live in safety and peace. How long have we been living in safety and peace? For 3.5 years in the wilderness. What did we, if we're living in tents in the wilderness, then what could our property be? Herds. That was the way of our forefathers. Now, where you getting the herd? You bringing herds from Babylon? No, you're not. For I will be unto her, says Yahweh, a wall of fire round about, and will be the glory inside of her. And that's the promise of his protection of the angel of Yah going before us and encamping around us like he did in the wilderness before from our enemies. All right. Now, this is one of, like I said, the biggest issues is this word yetza, which means to come out, yatsa. And it depends on what building and how it's formulated in the structure that people can misinterpret that word. The word, do I go through it here? Or do I say it? Let me see. Okay, I don't go through it here. So I'm just going to explain the definition of that word. But this is also one of the biggest misunderstandings that we have in, I believe it's Ezekiel 20, where people think the rebels are going to be with us in the wilderness because they don't understand that word in English, right? And when you look into what building in the conjugation, it's implying certain things. It could mean your end result. I will exit or extract from you. You will exit or you will come to, right? And so you got to understand everything in its rightful context. The English is not good enough, y'all. And I'm telling you that he's not sending you prophets to interpret his word just by the English. It's first by his spirit and those that have done their due diligence to mark his word and know it. So he's not sending you no ABC picture, Hebrew, reading pictographic short man that don't know his word to give you the understanding when they have been declaring for the last couple of years that they don't have understanding. They still figuring this stuff out. Listening to everybody else, acting like they did the study. Thieves. So the word Yitzhak in that scripture, it's in the Pa'al form, which is the simple first building, right? And so off of face value, it does mean exit out or exit or come out, right? But it also can mean extract or the result in. It could mean your exit out, meaning how it ends up. It's another way to you, or it could mean to come to, right? So in Israel, in Hebrew, we have the word and when the sun comes, right? And everyone knows it means when the sun goes down, when the sun is leaving, when it's exited, but it's using the opposite word. And when the sun comes, right? But we know in Hebrew when it says and the sun is coming, when it's ba, it doesn't mean it's coming up. It means it's going away. It's exiting. And so in Hebrew, you got to understand that. But those that don't know the language and don't use the language and just relying on their what the King James interpretation are going wrong. And those things are very important when it comes to Yah's prophecy on getting instruction that he says you should follow like a light in a dark place. Okay. So in the last days, there's signs that Yahushua has given us and the prophets. He talks about learn the parable of the fig tree. Who's the fig tree? Who's the figs? Everybody looking at what's going on with the nations, but y'all don't know what the sign is. when he says, and they surround Jerusalem, right? What's that? Is that place over there, right here in Jerusalem, the temple, or us, wherever we are in the masses and the leaders, right? Because that was where the priesthood and the kingship was. Y'all don't know what y'all talking about. Y'all don't know what y'all are looking for. Y'all don't know the sign, right? And so Yahushua said, no, for sure that day does not come without mockers and scoffers, right? And then Yahushua also gives a prophecy that no, when they say safety and peace, who's the they, right? Because they've given you the prophecy that you're looking for some kind of peace agreement to happen between the nations in the last and the half of the 7 years. And when they make a peace process, that's when it. No. Y'all better stop letting these people interpret the Bible. Who is the they when they say safety and peace? Then suddenly destruction falls. On who? Right? Who is the they say that is screaming peace, peace, according to scriptures? Right? What is the mocking and the scoffing that Yahushua said would come in that time? Let's read and get some understanding. So this comes out of my lecture, Come Out of Her, My People, and I'm just taking some excerpts, right? Jeremiah 8 and 10. Therefore, I will give their wives to others, their fields to those who inherit them. For from the least even to the greatest, everyone is for profit and gain. Everybody that I'm calling out and everybody that I'm not calling out, that's all they about right now. Rumpelstiltskin's trying to turn straw into gold. And if you call his name right, meaning if you call him out, it's going to be proven to be nothing but straw. From the prophet to the priest, everyone deals falsely. Right? I'm in 11. They heal the fracture of the daughter of my people. Who's the daughter of my people? That's the last generation of Israel. The daughter of my people, superficially, slightly, right? So there is a healing that y'all are walking in thinking y'all are healed by the Holy Spirit. You got the prophets that giving you the rain and the bread, and they're feeding you clothes and water and the word of Yah. Superficially, slightly, saying, what are they saying? How are they giving you this superficial healing? Peace, right? Who's screaming this peace and peace? The nations or Israel? Who's the sign? Who's the they when they say safety and peace, right? Peace. But there is no peace. I'm skipping to Jeremiah 8 and 14. For what? Why do you sit still? Look at this. What this is about. Why do you sit still? Because your people saying you're going to have peace. Don't worry. This is judgment of nations. But you're going to have peace, right? Why do you sit still? Gather. Remove yourselves. And let us go to the fortified cities, and let's be silent there, because Yahweh our Elohim has silenced them. So where's he saying that we should? Why are we sitting still? Let's gather and remove yourself. What are we gathering and remove yourselves from? What? Where are we sitting still? Where our pastors and our this is the dealing falsely. This is the dealing falsely and the profit and gain. This is why they're telling you this. He's telling you why they're telling you peace, ain't nothing going to happen to you. Because this is all they're prophesizing to you for profit and for gain. You're their ticket. You're their money meal. You can't go. And let us go to the fortified city. What fortified city? Where do y'all say the fortified cities are? In the mountains of the Arabah, of the desert. And let's be silent there. The word silence is at peace, quiet there, because Yahweh Elohim has silenced them. Who's the them? Who do y'all say he's going to silence in the end? Our scholars, our debaters, our great storytellers, right? The prophets and the priests that do tell lie. He said he's going to silence them and give us poison water to drink, right? So these are the ones that's giving you the rain of Yah. Right? The water of Yah, but they're giving you poison water to drink. They're not giving you the water of the everlasting life in the word of Yahushua. They're giving you poison water to drink, for we have sinned against Yah. What was this sin? I showed you in Isaiah and Jeremiah that he said on account of the Isaiah, on account of this, saying that you're going to flee and that you're not going to come up out of her, right? That I'm going to count this as iniquity because I told you to leave. Those, all of you that sit still and want to stay in this wicked nation, I'm going to count it as an iniquity, because there's no clearer way that I could have told you leave her, but leave her. There's no other way to say it, y'all. I'm skipping to 14. We waited for peace, but no good came. A time of healing, but behold, terror and trouble. That's what Abraham saw before he had the terrible dream. That's what he saw, the sacrifices of Israel. I'm in 8:19. Behold, listen, the cry of the daughter of my people from a distant land. This could not be talking about Babylon, y'all, right? This is about our return, and you can read the whole thing. This is about our gathering. This is not about us in Babylon from then. This is about our last return. Behold, listen, the cry of the daughter of my people from a distant land. Is Yahweh not in Zion? Is her king not with her? Why have they provoked me with their graven images, with strange idols? Why do you don't want to leave? Because of the possessions of Babylon. Let's get down to 20. Harvest is past. What's this about? This is about the feast days, right? Harvest is past. What's the harvest? That's the harvest is the chopping down, right, of the wheat, right? And summer is ended, the heights, right? That's Shavuot. And we're not saved. Those of y'all gonna, I already told you when y'all gonna see this happen, right? And we're not saved. That means y'all stuck because of these lying prophets that deal falsely, that's dealing out Yah's word falsely to you for money. They are lying to you and tell you nothing's going to happen to you. You're going to have peace and you're going to have safety. As long as you keep the commandments of Yah and you walk in the testimony, nothing is going to touch you. And y'all don't know that that's not all that's required for your salvation. All right. Jeremiah 25. This is from my lecture, Come Out of Her, My People. Jeremiah 20, the 70-year prophecy, 27. And say to them, thus says Yahweh Tzibaoth, the Elohim of Israel, drink you and be drunken, intoxicated, vomit and fall, and don't rise due to the sword which I will send among them. Go back and see who he's talking to. Is he talking about the nations or he's talking about Israel? Is this the time of Jeremiah right before the coming of Babylon, or is this the end? Go and look. And it shall be, if they refuse to take the cup from your hand and to drink, they shall say to them, thus says Yahweh Tzibaoth, drink, you will be drunk. So we have in Revelations this prophecy, right, about taking the cup, which is the wrath of Yah. And they're going to tell you that it's just about the nations. It is. But where does the prophecy start with? Watch this. Who drinks the cup first, y'all? Who drinks the cup first? For here, on the city which is called by my name, on her I begin to afflict. Understand that you are the target. Babylon is not going to be destroyed until they deplete you of your salvation and slaughter you in the streets. And you will be cleared and cleaned out, utterly cleared out, not unpunished. For I will call for a sword on all the inhabitants of the earth, says Yahweh Tzibaoth. And when he says all the inhabitants of the earth, he's already declared who he's talking about. This is one of also the greatest misunderstandings that you guys have. When he says on the earth, you think he's talking about on the whole world. And you're not dividing the word. And you will prophesy you against them all these words. That's me right now. And Jeremiah from then, and all the prophets that he's going to send to bear witness to this last judgment. All these words, and say to them from on the heights, Yahweh will roar. And he will roar from his holy dwelling place. Where's that? I show you where that is. He will give his voice to roar on the abode of his flock of Israel. So the flock is the one that's going to roar. And Yah is going to descend out. And what's going to happen when the flock of Israel, right? The herds of Israel, right? The judgment comes. We're out of Babylon already, you guys. And shout and cheer and march and tread and answer against all that remains on the earth. No, we're calling out the judgment on Babylon and all our people that remain on that land. Isaiah 28. So Yahushua said, know for sure that Mark is coming, scoffers. He talking about the nations? No. Who's going to be the mockers and scoffers? And what is the mocking and the scoffing that must come right before their utter and sudden destruction? Israel's destruction. 22. Now, do you mock? Now, sorry, do not mock, or your shackles, bands will become stronger to your destruction or your finish. It is decided. I have heard from Yah of Elohim of hosts of destruction on the whole land. Who is Isaiah 28 talking to? Is he talking about the whole earth, or he's talking about the whole house of Israel called the land, Yah's inheritance? Give ear and hear my voice. Listen and hear what I said. Does the plowman plow every day to plant a seed? So when he's talking about the whole land, who is he talking about? Does he continuously open up the harrow in the soil? Does he not, when he smooths or levels its surface and face, and sow dill and scatter cumin and plant wheat in his rows, barley in its appointed place, rye in their border? This whole thing, the mocking and the scoffing, is about how long, how much destruction, how much I'm going to have to now bring the punishment on you, how much I'm going to have to bring the nations against you and afflict you for you to see that I'm doing this so that I can get you, right, to sow you and scatter you and plant you in your appointed place and in your borders. So this is the mocking that Yah is saying is going to happen right before utter destruction. They're saying you don't have to do anything. Don't move. Wait for the judgment of the nations in Babylon. She's going to get it when he says, I'm starting with you, O Israel, and the punishment and the bans is coming against you, O Israel. So we got scoffers that have raised their head like Yoshiyahus, like Huldahs, like Jedias, like Watchmen Report, like Hebrew Nation, Tiny and Mo, Josh and Mo, whatever their name is, like Seed of Israel, like Big Judah. I can't remember all the names, y'all, but every single one that's speaking opposite of what this prophet, not the prophet, but a prophet of a small prophet, has been sent to deliver as a warning and a judgment and a message and a witness that there's going to be more prophets that come to bear witness, because Yah is going to speak 3 times, not once, by 3 witnesses. The 2 witnesses is coming, y'all, and y'all not going to recognize them. I'm only here to bear witness to what's coming and get you to be ready to hear what they got to say, because when they come, they're coming with power. And when they speak, the judgment that is set on you, that I'm bear witnessing to these false prophets now, that's when it's going to manifest. I'm not here to bring the judgment on anybody. I'm here to tell you what it is. Understand, I'm not condemning anyone. I'm sent here to judge the false prophets, the lying seers, the bastards of Israel that are misleading you, and it's going to cause you to get trapped, plundered, and slaughtered by the sword, because all they want is your money, the gain, and the power. Trust me, that's right. Yah has a hit list. He got a hit list, y'all, and he sends his servants to go and tell them what I said. But Yah is going to give the judgment. I'm not bringing the judgment. I'm only speaking it. All right. Yah said, I will sift you with the sword. This separation of the righteous of Israel is with a sword, y'all. This is how he's going to divide the wheat from the chaff. This is how he's going to divide the tare from the wheat, is by the sword. And that's how he what? Scattered us before. He said, the way I scattered you is the way I'm going to gather you. So how did he scatter us? It was certainly by a spirit, a wind, by the sword, you guys. Amos 9:8-10. Behold, the eyes of Yahweh Elohim are on this sinful kingdom, and I will destroy it from the face of the earth. Nevertheless, so the kingdom that we're in, which is Babylon, nevertheless, I will not totally destroy the house of Jacob, declares Yah. Well, now when he says kingdom, it is Babylon and everyone that's connected as part of Babylon's kingdom. But every nation is not Babylon's kingdom. Babylon has been at war with many nations for the past 400 years. How about that? 200 years to submit them. That's not a part. Russia and China is not a part of Babylon's kingdom. Iraq and Iran is not a part of Babylon's kingdom. For lo, I command and I will sift or shake the house of Israel. So when he says this sinful kingdom, he's talking about where we are wherever we are. He's going to sift the house of Israel among all nations, wherever we are. Like a corn is sifted in the sea, yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth. So when we get to the third seal, he says I think it's 1 denarii for barley and 1 for wheat, but waste not the wine and the oil. What's the wine and the oil, y'all? What is that prophecy about? All the sinners of my people will die by the sword. Those who say, this is the mockery, y'all. The ones that say the evil or the disaster will not come to you, will not overtake you. It's not going to approach you or confront us or come to us. Those that are preaching to y'all, Israel, y'all are worried about nothing. This is y'all's judgment on the nations. Ain't nothing going to happen to you. Just sit still. Because here it is in Genesis, the whole line upon 9, precept upon precept. And after I judge the nations, then you're going to come out with great possessions. So don't worry. Wait for the judgment of Babylon first. And then you're going to, no. This don't make no sense, y'all. All right. I'm not going to be long, y'all. Double prophecy of the end. Jeremiah 5:6. On this, thus a lion from the forest will slaughter them. A wolf. Go back and look at who he's talking about. A wolf of the outer boat of the deserts will spoil them. A leopard lays watching their cities. Man, this is about intel on us, y'all. This is about the beast nation that's waiting for us. Everyone who goes out of them will be torn in pieces because their transgressions are many. Their apostasies are numerous. Behold, I am bringing a nation, a goy, against you from afar. O house of Israel, declares Yahweh, it is an enduring nation. That can't be Babylon America. A Babylon America is not an enduring old nation from the ages. Guess who that got to be? Who's an ancient nation from the ages? That's Russia and China, y'all. A nation whose language you do not know, nor do you understand. Like a cage full of birds. Where do we see that in prophecy and Revelation? Oh, Babylon, the whore Babylon. Like he's saying that you are part of Babylon. You are part of the whore. You are one with the whore. So their houses are full of deceit. Babylon is full of deceit. Babylon, because of lies, have gotten rich, and you have taken on the way of Babylon. Therefore, they have become great and rich. They are fat. They are sleek. They also excel in deeds of wickedness. That's these false prophets and leaders now. They do not plead the cause of the orphan, that they may prosper. They do not defend the rights of the poor. No, they don't, y'all. Shall I not punish these people? Who? Babylon or us in Babylon? Declares Yahweh. On a nation such as this, shall I not avenge myself? The prophets prophesies for, who's he talking about? Babylon the nation or Babylon Israel? The prophets prophesies falsely, y'all. And the priests rule on their own authority. Who gave them the authority? The authority is to come in the name of Yah. And if no one don't understand his name, they don't know his name, they don't know how to pronounce it, they don't know the authority and the character, and they can't explain it to you what the name means, Yah ain't sent or anointed. They're coming on their own authority. Who anointed them and by what authority? And my people love it so. So you continue to defend these people that's standing up on their own authority, making themselves anointed. By what reason? By what measure? And my people love it so. I ask you again, all us that's following Yoshi like he's the new seer that don't see nothing. He still done told you Babylon is the Roman Catholic Church, the Vatican. He ain't never corrected that foolishness. Now he want to jump because he done seen everybody else's 400-year prophecy. Now he done figured out, oh, it was not 430. Go do the math. Me and my fellas. No, he listened to everybody else. That fool didn't do no math. He went and looked at everybody else's prophecy. Is coming back acting like he done some real research. What prophet is that? He's a baby in the word. He's just figuring out stuff himself. They sitting over here still trying to figure out how to make unleavened bread for the first year out of 7 years of being of the new awakening remnant. And they still ain't doing it right. Still figuring out Yah's word. And y'all are fools for listening to them because you can hear that they're still figuring out Yah's word. But what will you do at her latter end? That word le'acharata, le'acharita means her end, her last days, Israel's end. What's going to happen to you? Because these prophets keep prophesying to you falsely. And they are ruling on their own authority. Nobody appointed them. Nobody anointed them. Y'all didn't give them no vision. The Spirit ain't talking. They don't have no Holy Spirit, y'all. Sitting up, listening to high, drunk people every day. You can't tell them these people are lonely. Sitting up there every day, talking about, give me a 100. And just counting numbers. Give me a you can't see the idol worship and the loneliness in this man. You can't see that he's always high. Something wrong with him. Sitting up here listening to this short midget. And everybody else is speaking like him because he's not the only one. But I'm going to continue to make an example of him as a false seer. And his wife is a baby. She's an intellectual baby. She doesn't know the word, nor do they keep it. So now, I'm going to keep it short right there. Since y'all can't handle much more than that, because I done broke all of this stuff down, y'all. I'm going to tell you again, all of those, y'all said mockers and scoffers was going to come. And when they say safety and peace, and I've gone through many prophecies, I'm just giving you one or two because that's all you can handle. If anybody, these dumb Negroes, preachers, pastors, seers, and prophets, ask them, they keep talking about the mark of the beast and the woman. Ask them what the mark of the beast is. Ask them. As Yoshi, this short midget, right? This short Rumpelstiltskin and his two green giants sitting up there looking like dopes talking about the mark of the beast. Them the ones going to take the mark of the beast. Don't know what they talking about. If somebody say to you again, the mark of the beast, ask them what's the mark of the beast. And if they say a RFI chip, smack them in the face. What revelation did they get that from? They have no idea what they're talking about. They don't know what is the abomination that desolates, that is going to be overspread. You know, RFI chip going to pollute you to the point that you can't be redeemed by the blood of Yahushua. What could they be doing to you that is an abomination? Go look up the word shikutz. It's a specific type of abomination that got to happen to you. Therefore, that there is no repentance for you, that the blood of Yahushua can't cover you. What could that be? What could violate you in such a way that you have no chance for salvation from the blood of Yahushua if you take it? Let somebody say RFI chip, piece of rice in your hand again, and smack them in the face. Now I'm going to keep this short. Y'all can't get with this. You can't get with that. And that's all the prophets, because that's where the word is at. Now, I'm going to be doing more short videos because y'all don't have the patience. Hopefully, this will wean y'all into going looking at the truth, line upon line upon line upon line, precept upon precept. And so I'm going to be correcting some very false doctrines that's going out here with these leaders that's speaking because they don't want no judgment. But yet they're doing the very thing that they're speaking against, right? So I'm going to be dealing with some faulty doctrines that have surfaced in our ministry for the last 50 years. And I'm going to mention them. Don't stay tuned. Press the subscribe button. Y'all, I'm not going to be up here every day. I'm not no YouTube whore. Y'all better get this word now. My word is good. The word that Yah is giving me through me, the words that I'm speaking as a prophet, is good for yesterday, tomorrow, and 1,000 years ahead and before. Because it's the truth, right? None of these preachers that got thousands of videos is worth going back and listen. What did he say? What did he say yesterday? Speaking wonderful nothings. This doctrine about having 7 wives in the kingdom, according to Isaiah 4. I'm going to put this foolishness down. And I'm going to show that everybody keep telling you that they're going to have 7 wives in the kingdom is a lying, lustful bastard. I'm going to straighten that lie out and that doctrine that they continue to spread. One of the things that's going to get most of our people sent to the lake of fire, trying to practice this stuff, and it's only for them. The other one that I'm going to have to address, how can someone steal the word of Yah? Y'all don't understand the word of Yah. So we're going to address that. I'm going to do a little special teaching on how someone can steal the word of Yah. Because y'all say, how can someone steal? The truth belongs to everybody. No, it does not belong to everyone to deliver to everybody, right? Yah sends people to deliver his word. Y'all are the sheep. Y'all supposed to just obey and follow. If you are not called, you are stepping out of your place and you think you're doing good to Yah. No, you're not. Because if Yah didn't send you, it means that you got your own doctrine that you're going to mix with Yah's truth. If he didn't send it to you, you got to learn. And those that ought to have been teachers at this time do not know as they ought to know. They need to be taught again from the beginning. But yet you got people that's just coming to the truth, standing up to be your great, mighty teachers. That don't make no sense when you got people that Yah say there's been 50 years of the truth and they need to be taught again. So, yes, we got a lot of thieves right now stealing Yah's word. And we're going to get to the word about what is a thief of Yah's word as y'all continue to mock, judge, accuse people, and laugh and scorn those who keep saying you have stolen Yah's word from his messenger. And what Yah says about that. I deal with it in David's judgment, but we're going to deal with it for those that ain't got the mind span to sit down and listen to 1 hour. The other thing that I'm going to have to address. Prophets and apostles have been given the authority by the Holy Spirit and by the word of Yah Yahushua to forgive or condemn whoever they choose by the spirit of discernment that they walk in. Yah has given them to that, given them that authority of their own. And y'all sheep don't understand that when Yah sends a prophet or apostle to come with a judgment, they don't have to forgive you. You cannot accuse them of not having the fruits of the spirit. You can't accuse them for being evil when Yah has given them that authority of their own. When you reject them and mistreat them and lie on them and steal from them and abuse them, they have the authority to choose by their discernment because they see something y'all don't see, whether they're going to forgive that person or condemn it. You don't have a right to judge the judges. You don't revile the judges that Yah sends on their judgment against somebody. Y'all don't see what they see. Yah has not revealed to you what has been revealed to them when he says, now go judge it. Tell them what I said. Y'all are all out of order. Another thing, you can't accuse a prophet that Yah sends to bring a judgment of being a false accuser. Okay? Let me tell you how that doesn't work with a prophet of Yah. They don't need 2 or 3 witnesses to make an accusation that Yah has revealed to them about somebody. They are seers. They see things that nobody else knows. Yah reveals to them that nobody else has discovered, and Yah will show them the truth by discernment of what's really going on in somebody's heart. And those of you that are judging the real prophets of Yah, that's making judgment on the false prophets, You better stand down. You're in danger of blasphemy. You're in danger of blasphemy because those people are speaking by the revelation of the Holy Spirit of discernment. And you be careful when you call good evil and evil good. Understand the role of a prophet. They're not here to prove nothing to you. They're here to tell you what thus says Yah. You can believe it or you don't, but you better be careful and know who you're speaking against. And I want to make it very clear. I'm not here for numbers. I'm not here for numbers. I'm not here for all of y'all. I don't want all of y'all followers. Y'all are wicked for following them. Y'all are blind sheep. Let the blind lead the blind. I'm here for the remnant. And there's one or two of y'all that are looking and truly searching for the word of Yah. You're just completely deceived. You just need to hear the true word and to hear the voice of Yah. I'm here only for a remnant. Like I said, I'll take the hit. You can lie to me. 1,000 of you can call me a witch, a Jezebel, a deceiver. But the ones that are Yah's true elect, one from a city, two from a family, I'll bring you back. That's who I'm after. 1,000 of y'all can call me a liar. But if I caught one sheep of the elect, I've done my job. And I'm going to tell you again, ain't nobody anointed of Yah that don't know his name. And I don't mean just pronouncing it. That don't understand the character, the nature, and the power of his name and why it is pronounced the way it's pronounced versus any other transliteration. Another thing that I want to correct in the future. So y'all stay tuned. All these things I'm going to correct. This, instead of judging people, why don't you pray for them type stuff. Listen, y'all said his word is good altogether. But if you divide his word and don't put it in perspective, you'll find yourself in faulty judgment and doing things that y'all said, thou shalt not do. There is sins that we are not allowed to pray for. Read your word. Don't just pray for somebody, don't bring judgment. You're a liar. You don't got perfect love. So, Israel, stay tuned. Press the subscribe button. You don't have to follow me or ever pick up the phone and call me. Listen to the word of Yah and see if I tell a lie against what all of these little lying people are telling you. I'm not here playing. You call me immature all you want. Like I said, I'm here to go after the little puppies and I'm here to slay the dragons. And I want you to understand that before this is over, Yah's two witnesses is coming. Ain't no Messiah that showed up on the scene before the two witnesses. Ain't nobody gonna claim to be Hamashiach from the heavens that was born of a hoe again. Ain't nobody gonna claim that they was holy from the womb. And so when it comes to false messiahs, right? False messiahs, he is going to make a mockery. He's going to prove all of them before the face of all of the people. He's not going to wait to the very end. They're not going to die with the rest. And all of them got escape plans and all of that. He's coming for you. You're not going to escape. Every single one that stood up to claim Yahushua's authority, everyone that stood up to claim his name, and everyone that claimed to claim his story and his testimony, Yah is going to stamp on in front of the whole world and make mockery, and you're going to fall like a dog. And they all have. And the ones that standing up now to claim that they messiahs, he's going to make you lick the floor. He's coming. Ain't nobody going to claim Messiah and get away with it. Stay tuned, Israel. Say what you want. Do what you want against the prophets. But by the time you put your hands on a real prophet, you're done. Shalom, Israel. Stay tuned. There's more judgment coming.